For real. Let me give you. I'm gonna explain to you what the meaning of weed is in America. So, okay, in America, there are many symbols. A symbol, for example, the one we're trying to create is this one, right? CPU, this symbol. This symbol encompasses a lot of things about life. It's the center of reality, of meaning, political meaning. It encompasses everything but everything's downstream from that, right? Some symbols, like let's say the symbol of a sports team, are a little bit lower in terms of their significance. They don't encompass everything. They don't encompass the crash site of the Platonic good falling into the earth, but they still encompass some things. Like the sports team might be a certain color, its symbol's a certain color, it's a certain theme, and that's gonna, influence what kinds of things you buy. Maybe you're gonna buy the green shirt instead of the blue one. Maybe you're gonna buy, the Wolverine animal rather than the stuffed animal rather than another one. It's gonna do things like that, right? But some symbols attempt to arrive at the core of being. Some symbols try to develop the center of human meaning. The hammer and sickle is one of those symbols. Religious symbols are like that. The cross, right? In Islam, it's calligraphy. Allah, the calligraphic representation of that. In Judaism, it's the Star of David, maybe. Or maybe there's a more profound symbol in Judaism, right? Let me tell you something. This symbol in America, this symbol here, right here, this symbol, in terms of on the hierarchy of how powerful and deep, how much of human reality and meaning it encompasses, it's pretty far. This weed symbol is almost a type of religious symbol. Oh, you don't believe me? Turn on Netflix right now. Turn on Netflix. Every other documentary, even conspiratorial documentaries, politically charged documentary, it's going to be about weed. And what do weed lovers even say? You want to know what weed lovers say? They say, weed also has industrial use, medicinal use. It's a conspiracy, man. Weed solves all problems. Weed can... It's a religion because it encompasses so much in that way. But what is the meaning of this symbol specifically? If the hammer and sickle has a certain meaning, what is the meaning of the weed leaf? What is the meaning of the weed culture and ideology in America? I'll tell you what it is. A lot of politics are just based on this. You want to know what it is? Having your cake and eating it too. Weed is not just about hedonism. I can be hedonistic. Fuck it. You want to have fun? Have fun. Knock yourself out. But it gets to a different level when they don't just stop at saying it's fun, that's why I smoke weed. They say, weed is good for you. Weed doesn't have any bad side effects, and it's the solution to all problems. It's so convenient that the thing that is the solution to all problems just so happens to be pleasurable. Something that has been prohibited, we have some guilt admitting that we enjoy, which we should have guilt in admitting if we're civilized people, also happens to be the thing that solves all problems. What is the meaning of this religion then? It's the same thing that communism and socialism means for America's millennial youth. That truth is somehow fundamentally pegged to what makes us circumvent the prohibition of the master, the prohibition of the father, the prohibition of the tradition. The thing that represents its transgression and allows us to circumvent this also is the source of truth. That's the meaning of weed, 420. That's the meaning of weed. It means it's not just seeking pleasure. It's not just seeking pleasure. Okay? It's the view that this type of pleasure is just so happens to conveniently be the source of all meaning and truth in the world. Right? Dude, it's a crazy coincidence, but the thing that makes me feel good and puts me at ease also happens to be the solution to all the world's problems, man. Weed, dude. It's both enjoyable and good for you. It is both enjoyable and it is the platonic good. Remember what Zizek said when he talked about the rule of the discourse of the university and how we're taught sex is healthy. And Jesus said, I don't want sex to be healthy. But that's what we're taught. You can't just enjoy things. This enjoyment has to be given a level of depth and meaning beyond its means. Not only is it enjoyable, but it is also the source of sacred meaning. Not only is sex enjoyable, but it also somehow is the source of meaning. Same with weed. Not only is weed enjoyable, but conveniently, it's the source of meaning. And you want to know what brought this thought on to me to present it on stream? Because I called a dispensary because I realized I could just go buy weed. I don't need a med card. I just go buy it. And I said, hey, I need something for my sleep. And then the woman at the counter, she goes, oh, yeah, we have a lot of things like that. And from the tone of her voice, it sounded like she was winking at me like, oh, you're just a little embarrassed that you want to have some fun? Don't worry, you can just admit it. You just want the weed. But then I realized maybe she didn't think that. Maybe she actually thought, oh, yeah. I mean, we're used to people getting the weed just to have fun, but yeah, it also does have medicinal uses. It also has medicinal uses. It's also good for you. And I'm not denying that, actually. It does help me overcome my sleep difficulties, especially when I need to reset my cycle, okay? But I'm just trying to say that there's something bizarre about that. There's something bizarre about the way in which the symbol of weed is elevated to such a high level of giving meaning to human life. The thing that we feel, this is why weed terrifies me culturally. Because it's about the kind of psychoanalysis of prohibition and castration and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into it. But it's like the thing that represents the overcoming of the prohibition, right? Also happens to also be healthy. It also happens to have all this other use. To me, there's something terrifying about that. I believe in prohibition, not in the sense of literally prohibiting people from doing things, but in the sense of the necessary distance we have from the real of jouissance. Jouissance in French psychoanalysis means enjoyment, ecstatic, sublime enjoyment. To me, prohibition doesn't mean self-denial, and it doesn't mean repression specifically. Prohibition means it's prohibited because it is impossible. It is impossible to have full enjoyment. It's impossible. You must accept the limits. To me, I believe in prohibition because it's a form of respect toward our limits. Some things cannot be enjoyable. They cannot be enjoyed, but they are nonetheless the source of some kind of satisfaction. Not the satisfaction in enjoyment, but the satisfaction of a type of spiritual catharsis. Being at peace with being. That's what I think. To me, this, not just this, don't focus on just the symbol, but it's the bigger significance. This bread tube, American millennial socialism, communism, whatever, this to me represents a religious-like elevation to the level of sublimity, full enjoyment. What do you think fully automated luxury communism is? It's that. Full, unmitigated, uncastrated enjoyment. That, my friends, is the pathology of the pervert. The pathology of a pervert. If you don't have alienation, if you don't have prohibition, if you don't have a fundamental distance that allows you to respect the otherness of the other, you cannot be fully human. So when Dugin says we're entering some post-human era, he's pretty much right. We are losing our humanity in a sense. We cannot anymore recognize our fundamental distance from each other. We're too close, guys. We're too close. We cannot accept the solemn and resigned catharsis and peace toward the absolute. We have to attain it directly. Isn't that what religious fundamentalism is too? Isn't that what ISIS is? ISIS is the same shit. For this, it's enjoyment weed. For ISIS, it's religion. They have to directly have it. There can be no distance. They have to directly be it. No distance. It's ISIS. Two sides of the same coin. Western weed ideology and ISIS, two sides of the same coin. Now for my closing remarks on this matter of weed and this business of weed. I am not a weed hater. I don't like to do it regularly. I have no problem with it, okay? And it is fun. The devil, give to the devil what belongs to them. It is fun. And also it helps me overcome my insomnia. CBD does more so than THC though. But I have to tell you guys the facts about weed, okay? Let me tell you the facts about weed, okay? Because it's fun, but let me tell you, just like alcohol, it's not good for you. Whoever tells you it's good for you is fucking lying to you. There's nothing healthy about weed. Nothing healthy about it. And if you smoke it a lot and you're a man, you're going to get gynecomastia and you're going to become basically a little bitch. Because weed's going to give you a lot of estrogenic effects. It's It's going to turn you, it's going to give you weak shoulders, weak posture, weak body, weak mind, and weak will. Another thing weed's going to do is it's going to make you a mental conformist. You're not going to be able to pierce into the void. You're not going to be able to pierce into the real and draw out and develop the mightiest truths of philosophy. You're going to be a fucking jellyfish who doesn't even know how to think beyond having the most basest conformist mentality. And I know this because when I smoke, I feel so conformist the next day. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Dude, nothing you're saying makes sense. Dude, what are you talking about? I want you guys to fucking think about something. 99% of people who don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to blame weed. Honestly, you guys probably are potheads. Literally, people who just are potheads all the time, that's literally why they can't understand me. Because I'm literally in the sober realm, and all these potheads are like, dude, what are you saying? Like, dude, because you have the conformist weed brain. You have a conformist weed brain. I'm trying to reach out to you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, I'm trying to get to you. Hello? I'm trying to reach out to you. Let me tell you guys another thing, too, about weed, since we're on this topic. Right? Do you guys think it's a coincidence that the fucking media and society is hyping up weed so fucking much? I like that it's legal. I want it to be legal. But I want to destroy weed culture. I want people to stop wearing marijuana clothes and merch. And I guess I can't force them to stop. But I would like it if it disappeared. It would be a positive development, in my view, if it disappeared. Because it's cringe. And why is weed hyped up so much? Why? Why is it hyped up so fucking much? I understand even why alcohol is hyped up. It's because it's fucking part of the culture. Why is weed? Weed is fucking... weed should best be like how it was in the ancient societies. I'm telling you guys, before modernity, people smoked weed. They had hash. They had weed traditions. But they weren't obsessed with it. They didn't do it all the fucking time. Be very suspicious toward why it's being promoted everywhere. Because they want to turn the American people into jellyfish. And that's what weed makes you. It disarms you. Weed. Summary of bullet points. Ready? Weed disarms you, turns you into a jellyfish, takes away your manhood, incapacitates critical thought, makes you weak-minded and weak-willed, and distracts you from what's important in life. That's my Netflix conspiracy documentary. You guys think you're fucking woke because you turn on Netflix and you watch documentaries about fucking weed, and you're like, oh, the government is preventing me from having a good time enjoying weed because the government's scared of the leaf. No, the government loves the leaf. You're a fucking idiot and you're buying it all up. Oh, the government just doesn't want me to have fun and enjoy myself, and I have to enjoy at all costs because I need full jouissance. I need the whole thing at once. I'm a big fat devourer, utilitarian who's grubbily calculating the best way I can get my hands on the thing that gives me pleasure. This is the ugly, inhuman, post-human subject of post-modernity. Just like thought slime. Thought slime's the biggest example of that. Thought slime's the biggest example of that, by the way. Biggest example of that. Ooh, it's me, Thought Slime, Skimmy the Bear. Everything that brings me pleasure is good. Everything that doesn't is bad. Everything that makes me enjoy is good. Everything that I don't enjoy is bad. I measure good and truth by how If it makes me stick my pee-pee in less places, it's bad. Yeah, everything's about enjoyment. Everything's about pleasure. Yeah. Literally thought slime. Literally fucking thought slime. Coom cell. Literally a coom cell. Literally a fucking coom cell. What are my thoughts on shrooms? It's stupid. Don't do it. Don't do shrooms. Don't do acid. It's stupid. It's just stupid. The thing you're looking for is already in you. You don't need to do psychedelics. You don't need to do psychedelics, okay? You're not gonna learn. Be honest. I didn't take any, dude. I'm gonna go tomorrow to the... No, I can't because we have to cover Destiny tomorrow. So Thursday, I'm gonna go to the dispo and I'm gonna buy the edibles for sleep. CBD edibles and shit. Ever done any? I don't want to answer because I don't want to set a bad example. Just don't do it, guys. Don't do any of them. Just don't do any of them, dude. I'm telling you to stay away. Don't do them. Don't do psychedelics.